And we're back on Take Action News. This is Daniel Marins. We're talking about the sudden resignation of Pope Benedict, originally named Joseph Ratzinger. He was Pope only for, I believe, about 8 years. And this shocked the world. It was the first time that a Pope has resigned in nearly 700 years. And rather than dying at first, there are a lot of questions about sort of his legacy as the head of the church. Obviously, more than 1 billion adherents worldwide, but also rocked by scandal in that we've seen now the scandals that erupted in the United States about the sexual abuse of children by priests and other Catholic clergy, and how the church systematically covered it up for decades, have now extended and have been uncovered in Ireland, in other parts of Europe, and in Latin America. So the question is, where does Pope Benedict stand in all of this, and what is the way forward? There was a documentary on HBO that aired recently called Mea Maxima Culpa that is about specifically this scandal within the Catholic Church. And they basically showed evidence, very strong evidence, that when Pope Benedict was the cardinal of the Church of the Holy See, he was actually responsible for investigating all of these cases of child abuse. And that, to some extent, he was perhaps one of the voices that was advocating greater investigation, greater prosecution. But then as Pope, many of the people that were powerful within the church, many of these high-ranking bishops, such as Maciel Marcial in Latin America, that were guilty of this abuse and that had been covered up for so many years, went relatively unpunished. David, I want to get your take on this. What will the history books show about Pope Benedict and the issue of sexual abuse in particular?
Well, I think they'll show that he was an insider. I mean, in the political equivalent is that he was the Bob Dole of the Catholic Church, that just as Bob Dole was sort of your ultimate Republican establishment insider, former Senate Majority Leader, sort of knew where the bodies were buried, where the scandals were in the Republican Party. That was the exact role that Cardinal Ratzinger, when he was cardinal, held throughout, for 15 years. He was also very close to Pope John Paul II. So he was the ultimate insider, the ultimate person who knew where the bodies, where the scandals were, and he controlled all of that. And I think when Pope John Paul II died, and the College of the Cardinals are trying to figure out, okay, who should be the next pope, they really decided they would go with sort of the establishment settled figure. Ratzinger would have been the one that you would have predicted if you were going to go with sort of a compromise candidate. And I think he'll be seen as something of a bridge type of pope, connecting John Paul II with whoever the next pope might be, somebody perhaps more dynamic, who's more ambitious and perhaps has more appeal. And keep in mind that, as Pope Benedict has also been an extremely conservative theologian, and I think in some sense the controversies have continued just because of that. So I think his role in history will be somewhat minimal.
Well, David, it is a fascinating case, and I think that's a great analogy, calling Joseph Ratzinger the Bob Dole of the Catholic Church. Well, we wish him well, and certainly as we wish all human beings. But it's certainly a case to follow, folks. Coming up next on Take Action News, David's gonna retake the wheel, but before we do that, make sure that if you're listening to us in Chicago, in Columbus, on Grand Rapids, that you subscribe to us on YouTube, on youtube.com/TakeActionNewsTV. You can get us anytime.